Hi, Amanda Fisher here, aka the Cash Flow Queen. And today I want to talk about one of the challenges that people have when they're in the business. And the answer I get when I ask the question about what they know about their numbers, and their answer to me is their accountant or bookkeeper looks after all of that. And I freak and internally go, ouch, that's not a good response. Because you see, when you're in business, the responsibility for everything about your business, it's yours. Unfortunately, whether you like it or not, knowing your numbers, taking responsibility for your numbers is part of being a business owner. And I get that it's maybe not your forte, and that is fine. It's not about doing the bookkeeping or being the accountant. It's about ensuring that you don't abdicate responsibility to your bookkeeper or accountant and expect them to do everything for you, and then expect them to tell you when things aren't going right, when there is an issue or challenge, because majority of the time, your bookkeeper won't, and your accountant is extremely unlikely to, because your accountant is there to look after your taxes. That's their primary role. And mostly what you've engaged them for is to do the taxes. So they will be looking at your numbers on a quarterly basis to look after your quarterly BAS and GST, and maybe they'll do the PAYG withholding monthly if you've got a big enough payroll. And then they'll look at the financial accounts for the year, often 6, 7, 8, 9 months after the end of the financial year. It is way too late at that point for you to make any decisions that are going to impact, because the horse is bolted, so to speak. You need to be looking at and taking control of the numbers in your business on a day-to-day basis. Let's say your bookkeeper some of them are a little bit more proactive, but a lot of them see their job as simply doing the book. So there's the traditional method of data entry. And whilst online accounting systems have improved and made their life a lot more efficient, a lot of them still have this mentality that I'm just here to do the books and reconcile the bank account. And unless you are instructing them to do more and asking them to come back to you, to give you cash flow projections, to tell you when things are not quite right or things look difficult coming up, when there's a cash flow crisis, remind you how much money you have owing, the rent's due or your quarterly BAS is due, what those numbers are, so you make sure you have the money there for it. Unless you have charged them with that role, then they won't do it. So again, as I say, the buck comes back to you. You need to be taking the responsibility. It's not their responsibility to run the business for you. That's yours. So don't abdicate. By all means, delegate. Just don't abdicate. Make sure that there's information flowing back to you. And whether that's a weekly summary report of some key numbers for you, or whether it's a more detailed report, or whether it's a monthly report that your bookkeeper prints out for you and physically hands you your profit and loss and your accounts receivable, accounts payable and balance sheet, and goes through them with you. But you need to make sure that you are fully aware of the numbers in your business. Because when you know what the numbers are in your business, you can make decisions. Otherwise, you're making decisions based on your gut instinct, which may be generally right. But we're armed with more knowledge, you may make a slightly different decision. Knowing your numbers is key. It's when you don't know what your numbers are that you stress out and worry. And by abdicating that responsibility to your accountant or bookkeeper, pretty much the same as not knowing and putting yourself in that position where you are stressing and worrying. And you may not think you are, but I know you really are. Because too many times I've heard People say, oh, my accountant bookkeeper looks after that, and they go off doing what they do. The businesses invariably don't go anywhere. The businesses invariably are not successful. You need to take control of all aspects of your business. It's not about doing it yourself. It's about knowing what your numbers are.